Okay, Clint. Just look at the world around you.
Okay.
Here on the open floor. That was gonna be my hint. No this. You're listening to Know This, a podcast where two friends test each other on useless trivia from topics they think that are interesting. But really, it's just two friends hanging out, and maybe they'll learn a thing or two. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Clint.
So Clint, deep sea trivia. Know this?
Oh, Megalodon.
That's it. That's all you know. Name 3 sea creatures.
Megalodon, Hank from Finding Dory, and well, he's an octopus. It's deep sea. Wait, are octopuses deep sea? I don't know. And the Titanic.
I said sea creatures and you go Titanic? Okay, sure.
Hey,
why
you
not?
don't know how haunted that ship is. It's basically a creature. And Leonardo DiCaprio, or Jack, he's in the deep sea now after freezing to death. So I'm on fire today. It's gonna be fun. All right, Jeremy, I want to talk about something. Can you guess what it is?
Is it Anchor?
You got that right. I gotta tell you why Anchor is really awesome. First of all, it's a free creation tool that allows us to record and edit, and we can do it through our phone or our computers.
Oh yeah, we've been using Anchor to help distribute our podcast. So now it's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Overcast, Google Podcasts, all those good stuff.
Yeah, man, we're everywhere. That's why we have listeners from Germany and Kenya, and we can make bank out of this podcast with no minimum listenership, thanks to Anchor.
You're right. It is everything I need to make a podcast. And it's in one place.
What's that place?
It's Anchor, of course. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started if you want to be just like us. Anchor, you know this.
Oh, I'm hyper.
Okay.
It's the coffee. I had, it was double stars for Starbucks today. I had to go. I got me a mocha.
You're still doing all those star things?
I gotta get my stars. So it's double stars Wednesday, y'all. You were so into that in college, okay?
I was. I know. I stopped though because like I don't have a reason to go to Starbucks anymore.
Yeah. You really don't until you have like a Starbucks gift card. Then you gotta go. But they have this iced matcha pineapple drink. It's not bad.
I realize I don't really like matcha that much.
Yeah.
It's just
It's
very
okay.
grassy. I was like, I'm gonna choose. I'd rather have like milk tea or coffee. Like matcha is just grass. Anyways, salutations, man.
Oh, breaking news, y'all. Kardashians is ending next year. So
Oh really?
that's it. Yeah.
I thought they got renewed for hella long.
They did, but they
They chose
decided
not
that
to?
that's it. They're ending next year. Yeah, there's like a bunch of memes of Kris Jenner like trying to figure out what to do after. There's like a video of her holding a gun and she's planning to kill a daughter to create drama. I was like, oh my God. And then everyone thinks that she's gonna kill Courtney. So
She's the worst one. She don't even do anything.
yeah, she's not making money. So but yeah, that's my news for today. All right.
I think we're
Let's
ready to
get to
get
it.
straight into it, guys.
Ooh, deep sea.
So we're going to get to some questions, but for those who are new, in this podcast, I'm going to be asking Clint a few questions about the deep sea, and then he'll try to answer without me giving him any hints. Maybe I might give him a few. He might need it. But once we figure out exactly how clueless he really is, then it's time to drop some knowledge. And afterwards, to round it all the way through, we're going to end it with the good old, what is it, Clint?
Just credits. Review of the day.
It's the review of the day. So that's how you know we're at the end of the podcast. Okay,
you should
Clint.
have the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire background music. I love that one.
What does it even sound like? I can't remember.
It's very intense. It's like
I just remember
whatever.
the lights go.
Yeah,
And then you ready for your first question? Yes, Rebus. Yes, I am.
Who's Rebus? His name is
that his name?
Regis. He's gonna haunt you.
So we'll start off with some questioning. I have about 4 questions about the deep sea. Before we go, as always, we'll always ask, what do you know about the ocean?
It's scarier than space. The deep sea is very uncharted territory. I think it's more unknown than space, to be honest. I feel like they have done more to explore space than they have the deep sea. Because once you get into the deep sea, you ain't coming back.
That's why.
Because Megalodon is there to catch you. I have a deep fear of the deep sea. I do though.
Do you
Like
actually though?
that would be like my number one fear to get stuck there. I mean, we won't be. I don't think we can survive because of the pressure, right? I
Yeah,
don't
no.
know.
When you go down, like really deep down, you won't be
Yeah,
able to survive the pressure unless you actually have
you
like
have
something
like
special, like a
yeah.
submarine or one of those
Okay,
capsules.
I know James
Um,
Cameron made that for one of his next Avatar movies, so
oh yeah,
whatever. But
yeah.
I just know it's unexplored and people. There's so many things. There's creatures there. That's what I
Hmm.
know, but I don't know a lot of what's down there.
Yeah, I think I could agree with you where the ocean might be a little scarier than space because there's actually like animals and things that might be a lot larger than you, things that actually could consider humans as prey because of how small we are compared to them. But in space, there's nothing else there. You just will die because there's nothing left.
You'll die either way, so just don't go anywhere. Stay home, guys.
Yeah. I know that when I did go like snorkeling and I would go into the ocean and you would just like look down and you just
Oh,
can't even see the bottom and
oh,
it just gets darker and darker. I
oh.
sometimes have that slight fear like if I look down something's going to start coming up to get me.
Yeah, man. I'll
Like
jump
it's
off a
really fun.
cliff, but I will not deep dive into something I can't see. No.
Hey, speaking about, how deep the ocean is, like do you know the different zones in the ocean?
Hell yeah, man. No, I don't.
Do you? I feel like this is like 5th grade
um,
science.
the deep zone, the dark zone.
No.
Wait, is this it? Am I? Is this the question? Am I answering?
It's just a gauge if you know anything. I mean, there's like the things called like the sunlight zone. These are like common names
Yeah,
like
man.
twilight
Right.
zone,
The sun.
midnight zone.
They all sound familiar. I forgot them. I learned
Yeah.
them in school.
There's about 5 zones. So I said sunlight, twilight, midnight, and there's the abyss, and then there's the trenches, which is like the
Ooh,
very, very
abyss.
bottom.
Uh-huh.
Have you heard of like different trenches that are in the bottom of the ocean?
From Finding Nemo, yes.
Do you know what like the deepest trench is?
Megalodon's house.
Okay, well, it sounds like you don't know too much about the ocean. But I don't think there's much for me to tell you about the ocean either.
Then what are we doing here?
No, there's a lot of stuff. But like as a summary, what am I supposed to say about the
I don't
ocean?
know. The ocean is
So
scary.
we'll get straight to question number 1.
All right.
How much of the Earth's surface does the ocean cover?
You want like square meters?
I want percentage.
All percentage?
Hmm.
It's like whatever. It's like
It's like what, huh?
it's
Come on,
like
Clint.
70%, man. It's like whatever.
70%? Is that your answer?
70%, yeah.
Yeah, you think the ocean covers that much of the world?
Yeah, man. It's like us. We're 70% water.
Are we?
60 something, 60 to 70.
Oh,
It depends on how much you
okay.
drink.
Okay. So your answer is 70?
Yeah.
Okay. You're saying 70% that it covers, but you were even saying that you feel like we know more about space than we know about the ocean. How much of the ocean floor is mapped?
Matt?
Like
Oh,
has
map.
been researched or like looked at?
Well, Magellan found Asia.
Magellan?
Yeah.
The
Remember
Megalodon?
him? No,
Who's
you don't know who
Who's
Magellan
who's
is?
who's Magellan?
He's an explorer that brought spices to Europe.
Oh yeah.
You don't know who
Never mind.
Magellan is? I guess
I
he's.
don't know who
I just
Magellan
know
is.
him because he went to the Philippines and there's a big thing about him. Anyways, he was kind of a dick, I heard. All the Europeans. He died in the Philippines because there was a battle. Anyway, whatever. Mapped. 20% of oceans are mapped. Oh no, that's too small.
20%.
No. Yeah, 20%. I want to trust my gut because I always change with numbers and I want to trust my deep sea, which is my stomach.
Okay, so 70% and 20%, and we'll go to our second question.
That wasn't the first two.
No, that was just the one question.
What the hell?
Mine always has a lot of parts. Each question always has hella parts in it.
All right.
All right, so I already talked about this one, or I asked you this already. What is the deepest part of the ocean?
The trenches.
Yes, but which trench?
Oh, there's a name?
Of course there's a name.
But is it like
Humans freaking name everything, dude.
No, but is a name like a country, a land? Does it sound familiar?
It sounds like a type of sauce.
Tapatio trenches. Ketchup.
It's like a pasta sauce. How about that?
Oh, tomato trenches. Alfredo trenches.
You get 5 seconds.
Oh, type of
four,
pasta sauce.
3.
Ragu trenches.
Okay.
I'm gonna go.
I'm waiting for one
say
final answer.
Olive trenches.
Olive sauce? What type of pasta are you eating, dude? What
The hint did not help. It just like the flavor.
It's not actually the word.
Okay.
Like, let's say it sounds like olive, then it would be like, oh, it is the
Olivia.
yeah, like it would be like that. It's like kind of like it, but it's not really like it.
Ragoon.
Okay, is that your final answer?
Yeah, Ragoon trenches.
All righty.
Yep, I'm confident. Look at that. We're speeding through. Is that it? We're done?
No. We're going. That's the second question. We got two more to go. Question number 3. Trench quakes are kind of like earthquakes, but they happen in the trenches, in those deepest points. Now, these are some of the largest earthquakes ever to be recorded, but they are so large that they are known to do what? What can these trench quakes do?
They're so big that they cause something.
That they can do something. That
can do
something
something.
happens. That
Tsunami.
something happens. I mean, that's true,
final.
but like things that are not trench quakes can also create tsunamis.
Yeah.
Too. That is correct, but that's not what I was looking for, though.
It made Pangea happen. It's big enough to talk about it, so
it's so big that it will affect every single person on the world.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Volcanoes erupt? I'm just gonna say that. I like that. Yeah, that should be the answer. We done?
We're gonna get to our 4th one, which is gonna be a little bit more interesting. It's gonna be a little game called What's That Sound?
What the hell?
What the damn hell? So the game is called What's That Sound? So I'm going to give you 3 options, okay? You either say it's animal, it's a natural sound, or it's a man-made sound.
Okay.
These are all going to be sounds that happen underwater, okay? So you have to guess either, did an animal make this sound? Is it from like a natural thing, like an earthquake or stuff like that that's not animal related? Or is it a artificial made sound, like a man-made producing sound?
Okay.
There's 6 sounds, okay? All you have to say is whether it's animal, natural, or man-made. Ready?
Okay.
Our sound number 1.
God. Megalodon? Natural.
Okay. I thought that was going to be an easy one, actually.
It sounds like a whale, but I think it's animal, but I'm just going to go with natural.
This is an easy one, man. Come on. It sounded like a freaking whale.
Okay,
but
fine.
Like, some of these are a little hard, but like, come on.
It was an animal. It's an animal.
It was a freaking blue whale, man.
It's a blue whale. Those are my favorite sea animals. No, they're not my favorite sea animals. Sea otters are, but they're my second favorite animals. They're the largest animal ever.
Mm-hmm. So good job, Clint. You know something. They're bigger than any dinosaur or any other extinct animal that ever lived.
They're the biggest ever. I want to ride one. Probably they won't like that, but
so that one was supposed to be one of our easy ones. So we're gonna get into a little bit of a harder one. So let's see what you can guess. I can
Me hurting my keyboard when I'm mad. Do it again? I can't.
Okay.
Man-made. Sounds like oil drilling to me.
Okay. Now for sound number 3.
That sounds like someone got shot. So I'm gonna say man-made again. That's an animal noise. I'll be concerned.
Okay. For sound number 4.
That sounds like a ship. Man-made. Sounds like a boat, submarine. Yeah, that second one sounded like a woodpecker, so that kind of was just maybe you put that in to throw me off, but
it's a woodpecker that's drowning in the ocean. Sound number 5.
That sounds like my bed after.
After?
Yeah, because it's broken. And do it again. Okay. Oh, I haven't had a natural made one, so I'll say that was natural. Ocean noises are creepy, man. Ugh.
The reason why I added this question, because you kind of actually think about it, like if you could get used to how the ocean sounds, like without all the water pushing around, it's actually a very noisy area.
Yeah.
Imagine when you're surrounded by birds, it's like hella noisy, When you're in the ocean, technically you're surrounded by fish and all these other things that are moving around. It's actually a lot noisier than we think it is.
Yeah.
Sound number 6.
Oh, last one. Oh, it's cute. I would say that was an animal one. Okay. I want to hear it again though. I want to bloop bloop. Okay. Yeah, animal. Probably animal. Not, but animal. Okay. It's Ariel.
Okay. Well, that's it. So you said animal, man-made, natural, and then animal.
I know a lot of them are wrong.
That's about it. We'll move on to our answer portion in just a little bit, but how do you think you did?
5%.
That not confident?
This is my worst episode, Jeremy.
It might be. Okay, 5%.
I need a break.
Well, if you need a break, go ahead, take a break. And when we come back, it'll be time for the answers.
Bye. I'm never coming back.
Hey, listeners, did you know we had an email?
That's right.
With this email, you can actually send us comments about our podcast, ideas for topics that you want us to talk about, or even questions about, what we're doing, who we are, or just things you might want to know. Feel free to send it over.
Or some money.
You don't have to send us money. But what you could send us is some more listeners. You could send us over some ideas. But definitely, we'll welcome anything you got.
Amen.
What's that email they should send it to?
Well, if I have to spell it out for you again, Jeremy, it's theknowthispodcast@gmail.com. Once again, that's theknowthispodcast@gmail.com. Got it?
Got it. Send away, folks. Alrighty, let's get to the answer portions. So our first question was, how much of the Earth's surface does the ocean cover? You answered 70%.
Mm-hmm.
And the answer is 70%. You got that one correct.
Oh my God. That's already more than 5%.
So that was pretty good. Was that a wild guess, or did you already know that?
Dot. I knew that it was the same with our body as it is with the ocean to Earth.
I actually didn't know that. That's actually kind of cool. We're like a little small Earth.
We're like, yeah, we are. Isn't that? Wow. Oh, that just made me tear up a little bit.
Yeah. So technically it's water is 70% covering the Earth, but 95% of the water that does cover is oceans.
Because there's like rivers and there's lakes. Okay. All right.
And then I also asked you in the same question is, how much of the ocean floor is mapped? Okay. How much have we actually kind of like done research or looked at? Mm-hmm. You said 20%. The answer is actually 19%. You're actually really close. I count that as you got it, dude.
I'm a genius.
You actually knew that.
I'm going on The Price is Right after this.
So it's actually pretty small. It's a very small percentage. Actually, it was even less so. So in 2017, it was only 6%.
Holy crap.
So due to technology, we've started to recently get a lot more of the Earth's surface in the ocean.
Wait, so like the whole globe that we have is covered in blue. Is that fake?
No, so we can see the top part. Like we know that the ocean top is blue, but we can't see like all the way down. For example, like when I was talking about, when we're looking into the ocean, it just gets deeper and deeper because light doesn't penetrate down there. I think this might be a reason why we think we know more about space. Because when you look through space, you can keep on seeing on and on and on until you don't see anything else. Because you can see Mars, you can see all the moons and the stars because there's light. But when you look down in the ocean, it just is very dark.
Oh, okay, that's what you meant. Because I was confused and I was like, 100% of the oceans is mapped.
And like we have like an estimate of like what we think is down there, like different ridges and different trenches and things like that. Yeah. But they haven't been mapped by our updated sonar technology. So we don't actually know exactly how the ocean floor looks like. We only know about 19% of it right now.
Yeah, man, I wouldn't go down there.
Just like how you're saying in the beginning, some people think we know more about space. And some people even think the ocean is like the real final frontier because of how little we actually know about it. On an article I read, they said we still have about twice the size of Mars to check out on Earth. Oof. Because that's like how much surface area we still need to map out.
Yeah, scary, man. Okay, let's move on before I start.
Okay. So I asked you, what was the deepest part of the ocean? This was our second question.
Yeah, Ragoons.
You answered the Ragoon trenches. Uh-huh. So yeah, trenches are the deepest part. Although it's not called Ragoon trenches, the pasta sauce that I was trying to get you to say was marinara. Oh. All right, so how you say it is the Mariana Trench. Oh. Yeah, so to me, it kind of sounds like marinara, but it's the Mariana Trench. Okay. So this is the deepest part of the ocean, which is actually near the Philippines, actually. It's near Guam. Oh. The deepest point in the Mariana Trench is called the Challenger Deep, which is almost about 7 miles down. To give you like a idea of how deep 7 miles down is that if you put Mount Everest down into the ocean, it would still be a mile away from reaching the top of the ocean.
Damn.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean, so
okay.
that's why there's so much of the ocean to look at. So actually, in the Challenger Deep, which is the deepest part, only 3 people have ever gone into the Challenger Deep.
And they haven't come back, huh?
No, they've all come back up.
Ah.
Yeah, the first was 2 people that went down in the 1960s.
Just for a
It was
swim, or?
it's like the same thing as like astronauts. You want to go down just to see if you can do it or not. And then in 2012, one more person went all the way down to the Challenger Deep. So Clint, do you have any idea who that person might be?
I don't know, Barack Obama.
In 2012, what, for his second time, he was like, I'm gonna go down.
Yeah,
That's how I'm gonna get my votes. I'm gonna show them. I'm
Challenger
gonna be the
Deep.
first black man to go down to the bottom of the ocean.
I don't know. James
Come on, man.
Cameron, because
It's
he
James
built that
Cameron,
thing. So,
dude.
oh,
James
okay.
Cameron was the last and the third person to go down
Yeah.
all the way down to the Challenger Deep.
We haven't seen him since. No wonder Avatar hasn't been made.
He's that crazy about the ocean that he went all the way down to the deepest point. And he's
Yet
only one of 3 people.
his movies are about space, so it's like, what the hell,
No,
James
he's
Cameron?
he's making a freaking 5-part Pandora, freaking whatever it's
It's
called.
called Avatar.
Avatar is supposed to be ocean themed next.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah. So he's really big into the ocean.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, his solo mission going all the way down to the Challenger Deep is actually the world record of the deepest solo mission ever gone into the ocean.
Oh, he was by himself?
Yeah, so yeah, because he's only one of 3 people that actually ever got down there. Let's
Okay.
wrap it up. Let's bring it back in.
Okay.
We talked about trench quakes, and you said that trench quakes were so strong that they could create volcanoes. Now, there are actually underwater volcanoes, and that is the thing.
Yes.
But
they make volcanoes erupt.
sure, I don't know. That's not the thing I was looking for. Okay.
Okay, then that's not the answer.
Yes, trench quakes are so strong that they can shift time.
What?
They can actually make our days on Earth shorter. So, for example, the Sumatra Andaman earthquake, which was a 9.1 on the Richter scale, altered Earth's rotation, shortening the day by 2.68 microseconds.
Oh, God.
It's not that long. Okay, microseconds, of course, smaller than milliseconds. But come on, think about it. And there was another one in 2011. There was another earthquake, 9.0, shifted the Earth's axis, shortening the day by 1.8 microseconds. Okay.
Well, I
And
hope
we keep on having all these earthquakes. Eventually, our days are going to get shorter and shorter, meaning that time will be faster and faster for us.
Doesn't it catch up? It doesn't ever catch up. It just always.
What do you mean? What catches up?
I don't know. It doesn't normalize like our rotation. Like
No.
oh, okay.
If you start spinning as an astronaut in space, you never stop spinning because there's no Earth. There's no
gravity.
air resistance.
Gravity.
No gravity. Well, there is gravity, but there's no air resistance to slow you down. Okay.
There's no
So when you're in
gravity
space, you just keep on turning and turning and turning, just like how the Earth will always keep on spinning and rotating.
I thought it would caught up. Well, I guess not.
Why would it catch up? What's it gonna do? Spin faster? Spin slower?
Yeah, it's like, hey y'all, let's move it.
It's space, man.
Well, I hope.
Do I need to teach you about space too?
Maybe.
Yeah. So
Did I say? All right.
it wasn't volcanoes. That wasn't the answer I was looking for. I don't know. Trench quakes could make volcanoes erupt. I don't know. That's not what I was looking for. It was time. The answer was time.
Okay.
Speaking of time, we're gonna go to sounds now for our 4th question.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, you forgot about our game, man. What's that sound? Dun 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 dun. What's that sound?
Okay, you didn't do that whole song earlier, so
yeah, but I just made it up. I think this sounds nice.
Okay, I'll put it on.
Dun, 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 dun. What's that sound? So these were all sounds that were recorded underwater. Okay?
Yes.
And the first one was indeed a blue whale. Yeah. So I had to convince you to say freaking animal, even though you thought it was something else for some reason.
I knew it was a whale, but I just wanted to, for the fans.
I think there's enough fans that already doubt your intelligence.
Yes, I guess.
I keep on having to tell them he's getting a PhD, guys. Dude, he can't be that dumb.
I'll be smart next episode.
Yeah, so it was a blue whale. But the thing that was different about this sound was that it is a blue whale, but the sound of the blue whale had to be sped up by 10. So it had to be, it's 10 times faster than how the sound normally sounds like, because blue whales or most whale sounds usually are so low that you can't hear it. Like the hertz is at a frequency that's so low that our human ears usually don't hear it.
Yeah, because they
don't. So what they did is they had to speed it up And you know, when you speed up sound, like it starts sounding like a rabbit. It's like, beep, beep,
Yeah.
beep, you know, really high pitch. So that's why we can hear this one now. Yeah. So here is the blue whale noise.
Ooh.
That wasn't Clint's voice at all.
That was not. That was so good.
Okay, well, I'll actually play the whale noise for everybody here, and I'll just do like a quick, like 5-second one. And here is our second sound.
The woodpecker.
Yeah. And you said that it was a man-made sound.
It's a woodpecker. It's a woodpecker.
If you went with woodpecker, you would have guessed animal.
And it's an animal?
It's an animal.
What the
It's
fuck?
not a
What kind of
man-made, so you got
animal?
that one wrong. It's
What is it?
actually a clownfish.
Huh?
Yeah, like Finding Nemo clownfish. Yeah.
That's Marlin looking for Nemo. That's how he sounds like. Oh God.
So there's a lot of different species of clownfish.
Yeah, the good
Oh.
clowns and the bad clowns. Clowns for birthday parties and the clowns for carnivals. Okay.
Yeah, so apparently clownfish can make this popping kind of like chirping noise. And they found that just like humans and just like other animals, they make these noises to help communicate with other clownfish. And a lot of the more dominant clownfish will actually make these type of noises to scare off the other smaller clownfish. It's kind of like
why?
chittering your teeth. That's what they're doing. to make
But
this
we're not able to hear it, right? If we were
No,
like,
that's the noise that you just heard.
Oh, I mean, I thought like they probably, I don't know if they slowed it down too, but can we hear it if we're like next to a clownfish?
Well, I mean, that's what they do. They put a mic right next to a clownfish, and that's how you can hear these things. I mean, technically, like if you put it right there and you like are really quiet and like you don't let like bubbles out or anything else like could make more noise, I think you can hear it. It probably won't be as loud as it sounds like from here, but you'll hear it. It's probably like a softer chirp. Third one. That was an explosion. That was man-made. You got that one correct.
Okay.
So that one is called an SUS explosion. SUS stands for signal underwater sound. So before we had sonar, we actually threw TNT into the water to make explosions like this, what you're hearing, so that they could make the echoing of the explosion and they could show how far sound has gone in the water and if it bounces off of anything too.
That's smart.
Okay, fourth sound. You can hear it's like a sharp kind of like clattering noise, but also this low, almost like an ominous sci-fi noise. So you guessed that it was a man-made noise. Do you have any guess what it might be?
A boat, submarine.
Wrong. It's actually
Why the hell did you do that?
It's not a man-made noise. It is a natural noise of an iceberg collision. So that was a sound of an iceberg floating along and then running into another iceberg or an ice shelf, like one of those really large bodies of ice. Yeah, so that's actually a sound of them colliding. If you look underneath an iceberg, there's a lot more ice on the bottom of the ocean than on top, like underneath the water.
Yeah.
So it's like that loud noise of hitting it and then becomes a deep resonance. Okay, the fifth one. We're almost there. We're almost getting to the end.
Sounds like a fart.
To me, it kind of sounds like a rocking chair that's like really squeaky.
Yeah.
Or something. So it is actually an animal noise. You thought it was a natural noise, but this is a spiny lobster.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's
so
it doing?
Lobsters, they actually can rub their carapace, which is like the back of the head, like that shell part, and they can rub it together and make a squeaking noise from rubbing their appendages together, making this scraping noise.
Delicious, nonetheless.
Doesn't matter what sound they make. The question is how they taste.
Now I want lobster.
Oh, I just want to put a special shout out to the University of Rhode Island and the Inner Space Center. They have this whole gallery of different sounds that were found underwater. So this is where I found all these sounds from. Yeah. Here is our last sound. How would you describe that sound?
When my poop hits the toilet water.
So this is actually a very famous sound in the water community.
Water community?
People,
poop.
The ocean community. They call it the bloop.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's kind of what it sounds like.
I said it's a bloop, yeah.
You guessed it was an animal. So before I tell you whether you're right or wrong, this was a sound that was recorded
by James Cameron in his deep sea.
And this was first recorded in 1997, and no one could figure out what it is until 2012. So for 15
James
years,
Cameron.
nobody... Yep, it was James Cameron. No, it
Oh.
wasn't. But for 15 years, no one knew what this bloop sound was. So a lot of people started making conspiracy theories. Some people thought it was like underwater missions that different governments might have been testing. Some people thought it was the sound of like a large animal that was making these noises, because this bloop could be heard from miles away. Like multiple sources could hear this big blooping noise.
Yeah.
So it couldn't be like a really small animal. If it was an animal that made it, it must have been like megalodon size, like had to be like a giant squid or something really big that we haven't discovered.
What if it's just a volcano?
Some people thought it could have been some activity underneath that we didn't know.
Yeah.
So in 2012,
James Cameron went down.
Yep, James Cameron found out.
Y'all, it's the Avatar.
So NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, recorded more of these sounds, and they found out that it's actually the result of an ice quake. The sound of an iceberg cracking and breaking away from an Antarctic glacier.
Oh, it makes
And
that
the
bloop
sound,
noise?
yeah. And because it's like when basically an iceberg breaks off, it's really big. So it was able to make a noise so large that it was heard miles away.
Oh, it just like falls into the water or bloop?
I guess so. I guess that's really what it is. It's kind of like a giant poop that fell in.
I was right.
Even though the government's confirmed it, there's always those like conspiracy theories of people thinking that it could be something else.
It's Megalodon, I believe.
It's the Meg. That's what it is. Anyways, well, that was the ocean. That was a little bits of trivia. We didn't really go heavily deep into any specific part of the ocean, really, but that is deep sea trivia. What do you think, Clint?
The ocean is vast and scary and unknown. So those are the 3 words I can describe the ocean.
Okay, Clint, you know what time it is. It's time for the
review of the day.
That sounds so sad.
No, I'm excited.
Okay,
review
guys,
of the day.
We really need to find another ending segment. So please send me an email. Please tell me what to do. We need to think of a better segment than this, but we haven't gotten that email yet. So for now, give us a review, Clint.
Oh, my review of the day is one of the best movies I've seen this year. It's called Palm Springs with Andy Samberg. That's it. That's my review.
I don't even know that movie.
You haven't? What? Okay. So it stars Andy Samberg and Christina Miotti. Christina? She's the mom in How I Met Your Mother. It's about this guy that's stuck in time and he has to relive the same day over and over again.
So it's a Groundhog Day film?
Yeah, but the reviews are good. I'm going to add my good review in there and give it movie-wise, let's say 7.5 out of 10.
Dang, best movie you've seen this whole year, and it's
one
a
of the
7.5?
One of the best movies. Well, it's not like greatly, like it's not like it's good.
When you first said it, it was like best film I've ever seen. I was like, damn, okay, maybe I gotta watch it. But now that you say that, I'm like, dude, I don't. I was like, I don't even care about watching this film anymore, dude. You're like,
you should watch it.
It's okay.
You should watch
it.
It's funny. I think the writing was good. There's a lot of holes in the plot, but whatever. You don't have to be accurate for a lot of the things. It's a romantic comedy, but the romance isn't very, very. It's all right.
Okay.
But the comedy and the plot itself is pretty good. But that's why I give it like a 7.5, because there's still like a bunch of holes in the plot. The acting for like Andy and the lead actress, and it has J.K. Simmons, so the acting was great. Watch it.
So
it's on Hulu. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. I like it. It's an indie film, so it has the indie film vibes. And I like indie films, so you should watch it. It's good. I like it. Okay. Watch it, y'all. Okay. Watch it.
Not a sponsor.
Andy Samberg, come on our show.
We're giving you so much free press right now. Come on, Andy.
Man.
Okay, well, that was our podcast, everybody. Hope you guys learned something more about deep sea. Hope you learned something about freaking Andy Samberg or some crap like that, too.
Palm Springs.
Yeah, and James Cameron. And, take us home, Clint.
Thanks for listening. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at KnowThisPod. Please rate and review our podcast. It really helps us out. If you have any questions for topics or comments about our podcast, please email us at theknowthispodcast@gmail.com.
Cover art by Amy Hoffman. Music by Karthik Kabarkaran. edited and produced by Clint Valencia and Jeremy Mack. See you next week.